now, if you will, please help me welcome Texas Land Commissioner Jerry Patterson.
Okay, we gonna dance or what? Hey, good afternoon, my fellow Texans. How are y'all doing? We're going to be doing better in November, I guarantee you. Welcome to your capital, right here. It belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me. But thank you for letting me work here for a while. I appreciate that very much. Well, we're going to try 4 more years. Thanks, Bob. Do y'all remember back in 2008 when our current president was in the campaign mode? And I think he was out there in California and he had some kind of event, kind of a wine and cheese thing. And he made a comment that was widely reported. He said something along the lines that parts of America were bitter about religion and guns. Y'all remember that? Well, let me tell you what. Today, it's good to be among hundreds of liberty-loving, God-fearing, gun-owning, pro-life, property right-defending, socialism-hating, oil and gas drilling fellow Texans who are better for it, not bitter about it. I think I'll just say hands off Texas. You know, can you say amen? Say amen, hands off Texas. You know, some people say that when you speak, you're supposed to do a joke. I think I'll just paraphrase Mark Twain when he said that I don't tell jokes. I just watch the president and report the facts. You know, there's a lot of discussion now about who's not here, who's not in town with our president. You know, there's folks that wonder why Bill White, Barbara Ann Radnofsky, or my opponent Hector Uribe are not around town. And I have to tell you that for those of you that are my age, and I'm 64 years old, I remember the 50s when you used to have to get under your desk and cover your head. It was called duck and cover. Remember duck and cover? We were worried about the Soviet Union nuclear attack. Well, the Democrats in Texas have come up with a new definition, a new meaning for duck and cover. What that means is when your president comes to Texas, you duck out of town and cover up the reason why. Duck and cover revisited. Now, why is that? I mean, why would they not be around town here? Why would they not meet him at the airport or shake his hand or be seen with him? Why is it that you don't see him? He was a great orator. You know, he was a political messiah of hope and change we could believe in. He charmed, maybe even hypnotized into a fawning adulation the New York, the Washington, the left coast print and broadcast media. It was like the second coming of Elvis. Or maybe it was like the Beatles tour in 1962, except the difference was instead of teenage girls passing out in the aisles, it was reporters. Promise after promise after promise, the words, "and when I'm president," fill in the blank, rang across the nation. He told folks what they wanted to hear. It was a political seduction of the highest order. And more than enough were susceptible to it. You know, I've been on the ballot for many times. You know, many times I've been on the ballot. I've lost some, I've won some. But in my view, the greatest transgression of a politician is to tell the voters what he thinks they want to hear without regard for what should be said, commonly known here in Texas as the truth. You may not like what I say when I'm running for office, but you know when I say it, I'm not trying to make you happy. That's the difference between a statesman and a politician. That's a difference between a false messiah and a guy who will tell you anything to get elected. Let's review a few of those. When I'm president, I will, which are now described as broken promises. Not in any particular order, but the one that came to mind when I started putting this list together was, you remember when he said, when I'm president and a bill is on my desk, it will be online for 5 days for everybody to view it and pass their comments to me. Has that happened? Do you remember when he said there'll be no more lobbyists in the White House? As if that's the problem. That's not the problem. You remember when he said that the immigration bill will be up and there'll be an immigration bill for his consideration in the first year? He didn't say good, bad, indifferent. He said a bill. None of that's occurred. Remember when he said he was going to end the income tax for seniors who make less than $50,000 or end no-bid contracts when they're over a value of $25,000? Remember when he said we were going to allow imported drugs, prescription drugs, if they were cheaper than what you could get here in the U.S.? Or when he said there was going to be no more earmarks? Anybody remember that? Or no family making less than $250,000 jointly was going to have a tax increase? Or there would be a pay-as-you-go budget? Or employment wouldn't go above 8%? Or all spending increases would be offset by budget cuts? Or the whopper of them all, that the health care bill consideration will be live on C-SPAN when I'm president? Say anything to make the audience happy, in this case to get their vote, to fool enough of the people to prevail in November of 2008, and that's what happened. It's gotten so bad now that if you go into restrooms where that blow dryer is to dry your hands, there's a sticker on there now that says, for a message from your president, press here. 2008 was clearly a seduction of America by a man who just recently began to hold his hand over his heart when the flag passes in review. Go Google it. Look on the web. Obama saluting flag. And I've got picture after picture. Those to the right, those to the left are at attention, hand over the heart. And the Obama man is standing there. Clueless. Let's not be seduced in 2010. Or ever again. It's pretty clear why the Democrats in Texas are running for cover, why they're ducking and hiding. And I would just tell you one thing in closing. Obama makes a nice acronym. One badass mistake, America. God bless Texas and hands off Texas. Thank you very much.